1. There's 18 of you. Wow, fantastic. Is there anything you can tell us about your, any name that you can tell us that you are, what's the word I'm looking for, regiment or L? O, it's getting weak, isn't it? L-O. U. Oh, L-O-U, yeah, Lou. Okay, but we need some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? They would have been part of a squadron or something. Can you give us a squadron number? Oh, 2, 6, 2. 262, Squadron 262. Okay. Oh, fantastic. I love that. That was absolutely amazing. The fact that they went love, kiss, kiss. It's fabulous. That's so good. Paul, sorry, I'm carried away there with the excitement of it, and it's still moving. Paul, it's back to you in the studio. We are now going to move from the Ouija board, and 2 people are actually going to go. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to do 4.
I just heard one of those noises.
What, the squeaky thing?
Squeaky noises.
Really? Okay. Paul, it's back to you in the studio. We're going to go somewhere else in a bit. Stuff's happening here.
Thank you, Yvette. So, after midnight, there's going to be a World War II knees up, we think, but a lot can happen between now and then. Find out exactly what after this, when Most Haunted Live, The Silent Town, continues. Good evening and welcome back to the final night of a week-long investigation for Most Haunted Live. We have based ourselves in Norfolk at the abandoned RAF base West Raynham, and we've had some amazing phenomena already tonight. In fact, it has been an amazing week. Now, just before the break, via the Ouija board, we got some information from what seemed like benign presences. We even got the word love with 2 kisses at the end, and we got 262. Certainly those numbers featured a lot in the communications. So let's talk now to our historians, John Callow and Miriam Cook, about those numbers. 262, what have we come up with?
Well, 262 itself was flying anti-U-boat operations. They were in Catalinas.
So they were a squadron?
They were a squadron, not based here, but based near, just outside Cannock Chase.
Was it 1942 to 1945?
That's right. So they're there. They would have had women attached. There's also, we had a great thing during the break. We had a lady, Karen, in the audience who'd served recently with the armed forces, and she was suggesting it was 2622, which is still operational, and they were an auxiliary, and they had a large female complement, and they were to do with the Rapier anti-aircraft missiles in the 80s. So it's a great continuity showing the role of women in our armed forces.
Yeah, I mean, women, it was actually nice to have something to talk about women, because women played such a vital part in the war as well.
And how recently was 2622 then? You said relatively recently.
This is 1979 that one was formed.
So we're still talking 31 years ago, though.
It's still, it's still a considerable time. It's a generation ago, and it shows you how warfare has evolved from aircraft safeguarding our defence to surface-to-air missiles.
Yeah.
I suppose we should remember this base closed, I think, in 1994.
1994, yeah.
So again...
And there again, you see, it's taking the story up to date. We talk a lot about defence, but fortunately at the moment our shores are safeguarded.
Yeah.
And, weapons of war at the moment here are largely redundant.
I mean, if you remember, it was 1940 that the government started conscripting women into... during, I think there were between the ages of 20 and 30 unmarried women were brought into the forces at that time, and they started coming in as nurses, as radar control, mechanics, and here at the base itself the accommodation was increased in 1941, so shortly after conscription was coming in, to accommodate the extra women and men coming in. So that was something related to that.
Absolutely fascinating. Thank you both for the moment, very much indeed. Let's find out what you've been sensing at home. Let's go to Julian Clegg and his interactive team. Julian.
Thanks, Paul. And obviously, if you've got any stories about 262 or 2622 squadrons, we'd love to hear from you. I'll tell you how you can get in touch in a few moments' time. Of course, any thoughts on what the Ouija board is saying or Morse code through the evening, let us know. Now, let's go around the webcams and have a look at what you're seeing. Thank you very much indeed for all your messages on our webcams tonight. And webcam 1, the corridor, let's bring it up. There it is. Brian from Grimsby, we can see a figure of a man that looks like a male nurse. He looks evil, so watch out, team, he says. Macca and Helen from Nottingham, there's a figure of a man's face behind the window of the door and a dark shadow that keeps moving at the door as well. The name's Edward and Gerald, in our opinion, will come up tonight. Be safe, team. Webcam 2, the X-ray room, let's bring that one up. And Sheila in Chester says there's a figure in a white coat holding an X-ray negative on that webcam. And Phil Jones from Yeadon says, I keep seeing shadows of what looks like men marching or doctors and nurses rushing around. Now, webcam 3, the decontamination stage, there it is. I can see, says Helen in Bolton, a male figure behind the door. He's in RAF uniform and he's looking for something. And Jessica in Birmingham says, I saw a swirling mist in front of the airlock door on webcam 3, the decontamination stage 1. Now, webcam 4, the decontamination stage 2, there, the team preparing for the next vigil, and David, Julie and Robert from Leicester. So I keep seeing someone on camera 4 walking up and down next to the beds. This is for the team with there, of course. And Lucy and Stephen, Bury St Edmunds, in front of bed 2 in the middle of the room. It looks like a cat is playing with something on the floor. That's the second or third sighting of a cat on that webcam. Interesting. So keep those messages coming through. Now, if you want to get in touch, we'd love to hear from you. This is how you can do it. You text the word screen, then a space, then your message to 80889. Text costs 50p plus 1 standard rate message. You must be over 18 to get in touch with Most Haunted Live. And, of course, go to the website to get in touch as well to send your messages and to look at the interactive map, mosthauntedlive.net. Now, we're running a competition right the way through this live, and your chance to be at the next Most Haunted Live in the UK event. We've got 2 winners walking off with that, and a ghost hunting experience courtesy of Virgin Experience Days. You'll have a clairvoyant medium and paranormal investigators joining you at one of Britain's most haunted locations. So a great prize, and 7 runners-up walking off with tickets for the next UK Most Haunted Live event as well. Now, if you'd like to win, this is what you have to do. Answer this question. What was the last Most Haunted Live event called? Was it 1, the 7 Sisters of Sin, 2, the 5 Fickle Fingers of Fate, or 3, the 8 Faces of Evil? If you think you know, call me right now. Here is the number, 09012 933 666. That's 09012 933 666. The calls cost £1 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may be higher, and from mobiles considerably more. You must be over 18 to get in touch, of course, and remember to seek the bill payer's permission before calling. And the entries close at midnight on Sunday the 24th of January. Entries made after the closing time will not be counted but may still be charged, and the competition not open to viewers in the Republic of Ireland. And details of the competition on our website, mosthauntedlive.net. Give you a couple of thoughts. Si in Worcester, thank you, Si. Can't wait to see what happens when you're in the medical centre. I had to go there twice whilst living there and had a feeling of darkness and oppression on both occasions. I used to live in Blicking Street in the Airmen's Married Quarters between 92 and 93. We heard some strange noises in the house, and every day objects would disappear and be found in the weirdest places. Stay safe, team. And here's another one. Maria in Bootle says, my father was posted there in the early 60s, so I spent a few years growing up on the base. I was hoping you'd go to the medical centre. My mum and dad used to tell me stories of the ghost in there. My mum knew workers in there who'd been pushed or struck by unknown forces, and things always used to get moved into different rooms. Keep those stories about the medical centre coming. More from Interactive later. Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Julian. Well, you're watching the final night of the first Most Haunted Live for 2010, and it continues right after this break. Welcome back to Most Haunted Live, and welcome back to RAF West Raynham in Norfolk, the scene for the last 6 nights of some amazing paranormal investigations. And tonight is the 7th and final night, and we began in a very intense manner indeed inside the old medical centre. A Ouija board session has taken place, some interesting results, and also, which makes a pleasant change, apparently some benign presences. Let's get straight back to Yvette Fielding and the vigil right now. Yvette.
Thank you very much, Paul. We've actually come up to the first floor of the hospital. Stuart's on camera. There's Carl, there's myself, there's Kat, and there's Matt. Kath, and there's Matt on sound. Kieran has separated groups to be in front investigating various rooms in front of web cameras. So we've been hearing, while you've been talking in the studio, moans and sort of a banging on this wooden frame. Let's go through here. This is where we heard the moaning the first time, didn't we? All right, stay together. Okay. Have you got a cable there, Stu?
Yeah, fine.
Ooh, what's in there? You're right, you're right, you're right, you're right, you're right. You okay?
Yeah. I'm not going to put the torch. You come?
Yeah, I'm coming with you. So there's a red light here. I'm wondering whether this was an operating theatre. It would have been operating theatre, maybe. I would think so. Yes. This would have been a table here. Maybe a chair or something. Yeah. Hello? See if we can get some noises. This bloody torch, turn off. Hello?
What's on?
What was that? Shh.